Okay, everybody, it's the commentary track for the King of Staten Island. My name is Judd Apatow.
And I am Pete Davidson.
This is our film. We are recording it from isolation. So in the future, you'll know that we were in isolation when we did this, just for context. We are not together. We are very far away, but together emotionally.
Yes.
Let's go out. Let's go dancing.
Does anybody else like dancing?
Yes, me. I
do?
love dancing.
What's your favorite move?
It's kind of like a shake.
No, this is the scene where we set up all of the friends. And Moises was on Hannah Montana. And when I used to watch Hannah Montana with my kids, I always loved him. I was like, Rico is the funniest guy ever. Who is this kid playing Rico? And so when he came in to read, it was like Paul McCartney walked in the door. And then Ricky Velez is one of your best friends, and he was one of the first people you said you have to have Ricky in the movie. And Belle, I had seen on Broadway with Michael Cera in a play called Lobby Hero, where she also had a strong New York accent, but she's actually from England and did a better Staten Island accent than you.
I know. What the fuck's up with that?
I don't want to be your friend. You can't not fuck me and want to talk to me.
It is annoying when you meet an actress or an actor and you're like, oh, that's the difference. Talent.
Well, every once in a while you have someone in a project and you think, they don't know that they shouldn't even be here. She's like Daniel Day-Lewis or Judi Dench, and she doesn't even know it yet. So we could get her before she realizes she should have turned this down.
She's just like someone that whenever she's in a scene, you're like, same with Marissa, who just popped up. Like, you gotta bring your A game. You're like halfway through a scene, you're like, holy crap, that's Maria Tomei.
Must be strange to cast somebody who's playing, a fictional version of your mom.
I mean, she couldn't have done a better job. It's like, if you look at my mom, it's spot on.
Yeah, hello, my name's Raymond Bishop. It seems your son was in the woods giving out free tattoos, and my son was one of his victims.
Hey, he said he was 18.
He looks like he's 4, you fucking moron!
He consented.
I always like, using the people that have, a real connection, and you love Bill so much, and Bill's been a mentor to you, and I thought, well, you would feel that affection between you two guys throughout the entire movie. And I feel like even here, when you're just cursing each other out, there's also some weird warmth, to how you guys really feel about each other that makes it fun and not just dark and demented.
Oh, dude, Bill's the GOAT. When you get to yell at the best, it was awesome, man. I had the best time ever going toe-to-toe with him. It was the most fun I think I'll ever have.
It was shocking that he was both funny, being like loud and angry, but also being very sweet and emotionally connected. He really created a character here. And as a director, I just thought, I love that Bill doesn't have 50 other movies, because we could use all of it. We could tap everything. He's not someone that gave away all his great tricks.
Yeah, Bill just crushed it. Down to the mustache.
That's commitment, because you got to walk around with that all day. You can't just do that on set. That's a real mustache. We also had the great Steve Buscemi in the movie, and early on we knew that he was a firefighter before he was an actor, and stayed very close to the firefighting community. And we had him at the first table read of the movie just as a favor, and we just so hoped he would do the movie, because we knew that he could be the soul of the movie, and then it would be perfect for him to be the one that is quietly keeping an eye on Scott and who gets the big speech to talk about what a hero is.
Oh my God, we're overwhelmingly thankful to get the Bush in there, man. He was also great. Like, me and Bill, we were all freaking out because he's fucking Steve Buscemi. We would just do bits from Reservoir Dogs all day, and he, like, halfway through, he started doing them back with us. It was just like the most fun ever. We really had a really great time with him.
What is this? I want to do what normal people do.
There's like something wrong with me. I just don't want to offend you. I think you're the greatest.
I know you think I'm great. I'm awesome. I feel bad that you don't think you're great.
This was the scene where, we find out that your character feels like he's going to ruin her life if they get into a real relationship, and that the movie was about having such low self-esteem that you couldn't even commit to the person that you're, secretly head over heels in love with.
This also is very true in my life, where I feel like any relationship I would get into, I would just self-sabotage, because I feel so bad for the girl. You ever just feel so bad? You're like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that you've made the mistake of talking to me at all. And I remember when you did this speech, you said, I know what to say here because I just said it to somebody.
Yeah. I had this conversation with a very lovely girl that I was like, you're going to be so much happier without me. She was like, what?
Well, I can tell you as a 53-year-old man, don't worry, that low self-esteem will last for many more decades. And I have it right now. It is not something you will shed. Every day I look at Leslie and think, why is she here? Why doesn't she just jump out the window and run away as fast as she can? Do you think like writing about that kind of thing in a movie and thinking about it alters like how you would be in relationships?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, this is the most honest I think I've ever had to be, especially with my friends and stuff. It definitely has made me a better person, or at least a better partner. It definitely has changed my perspective on like how I should not only treat people, but also treat myself.
When we were making the movie, we talked about what song to put here. And you said that the Wallflower song, One Headlight, was a big song for you and your dad.
It was on the radio all the time the year leading up to his death. And me and my dad spent a lot of time in the car because they were divorced. So I would get picked up and dropped off a lot. So anytime we would be in the car, that song would be on, and it just always meant a lot to me. And it also means a lot to you.
Yeah, this was the song that was on the radio when my wife and I drove to the supermarket to buy more pregnancy tests to see if my wife was pregnant. The first one was positive, and then we said, let's go buy some more to double check. And then One Headlight was on. If you say, what is your song with Leslie? It's One Headlight. That's the only one. There isn't a second one. I think this was Bill's idea, right? Was this Bill's idea that no one knows the words to it except the chorus?
Everybody was trying to sing it and we were reading it, and everybody was like, knew this one part, and Bill was like, we should just do that.
And when he hugs you, he whispers something to you. And to me, that's like one of the sweetest moments in the movie. It's a genuine hug.
What's funny is I think he whispered, I hope we don't have to do this again.
We talk about his dead dad all the time. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not your dad.
It's so funny.
It's very hard to capture this kind of friendship and hanging around without doing a lot of improv. And then it all led to this moment that really made us laugh, where Ricky did the knock, knock, who's there, not your dad joke, which I think he just made up in the moment. Had he ever said that to you before?
I think we've done that a couple of times, but we were always just like, we can't say this.
And then it's in every commercial for the movie. The thing you think is the worst thing you ever could say is used in marketing. That's why I do improv. I mean, if you have people who are really funny with great minds, you want to hear what they have to say, because most of the time they can beat what me, you, and Dave wrote. We want to give them an opportunity to prove they're smarter than us.
When did you first figure out that was something you could do?
When we were doing the Ben Stiller show, Ben loved to do a lot of improv. And then on like the Cable Guy, Jim was very loose on Cable Guy, but mainly Will Ferrell on Anchorman and Carell and all those guys. They could go all day. We worked on Freaks and Geeks with Jason Segel, did a lot of improv. Seth was good at it. And then I realized, you could do some of that improv even with dramatic scenes. I used to hear that Barry Levinson used to do it like on Diner. That was the thing that inspired me, because I loved Diner. And I heard that Paul Reiser improvised a lot of his stuff.
Hey, give your sister a kiss goodbye. Now, if she dies tomorrow, you'll remember that you kissed her goodbye. Have a good day at school.
Now, this was a really dark improv that I didn't see coming at all from you.
That's what my mom used to say to me when me and my dad would fight before he went to work.
Really?
Yeah, she would go, he's a fireman. You never know. You have to say you love him, and you have to hug. And I was like 5, and I would be like, what?
You're a degenerate gambler, and you're in your mid-50s. Who bets on the Jets?
The Jets are gonna come back.
No, they're not. They're never gonna come back.
We always knew that this was the scene that it had to be great or the whole movie wouldn't work. Again, another improv. Who bets on the Jets? And then Bill says the Jets are gonna come back. I don't know where that came from. I never even asked. We only did it once. Probably the biggest laugh in the entire movie.
Who bets on the
And then you
Jets?
kissed him on the head here,
Yeah.
which also is not scripted. And that really did bother Bill.
Oh, Bill was like, yeah, don't do that again.
You must really love me.
I'm not ready to say something like that.
You gotta say it. What if I die tomorrow?
Be that guy saying, even though I never said it.
This is one of my favorite moments. We shoot with multiple cameras, and you did this callback, and I don't think I told you to, where you say, you love me, right? So you're like unconsciously remembering and calling back the scene with Alexis. This is the great part about filmmaking is you do want the scene where they say they love each other, but if they do it, it's hacky. It's just terrible. I mean, There's almost no way to do it where it's not so corny and wrong. But it's all improvised. None of it is scripted or spoon-fed to you. And then you have a genuine laugh together where you feel the characters' love for each other in how they laugh at that line.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
I need somebody to tattoo. I'm running out of... Come on, Rich, what about you, man?
Don't even look at me, dude.
Why?
Your work is mad inconsistent. Obama ain't right.
I got the eyes wrong.
We set up the idea that he wants to be a tattoo artist here, and we worked very hard with one of your tattoo artist friends, London, who consulted.
London Reese.
And we spent months looking for different tattoos to try to figure out what your style would be. And Dave Cyrus did a bunch, and we had just teams of people, real tattoo artists and graphic artists, trying to figure out the level. But I love these two tattoos. One is the cat tattoo on the belly, which is so disgusting. The belly button has the asshole.
Yeah.
Also a bad drawing of a baby on his arm. And then the bad Obama, which makes me laugh so much because we just thought it'd be so funny to have a bad picture of Obama because we all respect Obama and look up to him, but you can't have a bad tattoo of him. But it's hard to show a tattoo artist who's mediocre. Like, it's really hard to figure out what does mediocre look like.
Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like a cat's asshole.
And we've talked a lot about why people get tattoos, and also the idea of, like in this era, we talk a little bit about enjoying the pain, that it's almost a form of cutting in a way, just that you talk about how it would help you focus. To get a tattoo would help you clear your head.
When you go through something like that, after you're done, you're like, wow, I did that. Like, it helps you think clearly and gets like a little anxiety off your chest.
Why don't you give me a tattoo?
What?
I don't have any tattoos. I'm a blank slate, man.
Put it on my back. Yeah, use it for practice.
No body parts, no nudity,
Okay.
no Chinese letters.
We thought of that idea pretty early, that Ray would give his back. It's almost like a blood sacrifice to bond with you. It'd be the nicest thing you ever could do for somebody would be to give your back, and that we would wait to see what you were tattooing. We wanted the first shots to be funny. So like Jesus smoking a joint, an old dirty bastard, so that you wouldn't think it was a super sweet moment when it started. And then you see that's like a ghost with a boner and the Celtics and a Jewish star. We thought that was funny that you would put a Jewish star on his back, that he wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And then the third one is the reveal. And in editing, we realized, okay, we want to see her before we see the tattoo.
That's actually really good work.
Yeah, months and months working on that tattoo. It was very intense going into the fire stations with you, especially for the first time we went to your dad's fire station. How was it for you to just know you'd have to do this and spend a lot of time in these spaces?
It's the smell. The smell kills me. It smells like my dad. So it was always a little bit rough, just because like it feels like how it felt when I would go visit him. You'd be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be in there. Yeah. So a lot of that was really challenging. And this Firehouse looks almost exactly like the one my dad was working in. So it definitely brought up some emotions, especially having John Sorrentino, our consultant, and also one of my dad's pals. It definitely brought up a lot of emotion, which I think we used in a good way.
One thing that we laughed a lot about is that firemen think they're really witty and funny, but they generally aren't. Their jokes are kind of simple. Their pranks are kind of lame. It's all like dropping flour on people's heads. And they think it's the funniest thing in the world. They're very sweet that way, but the jokes aren't really that good. And that in this montage, they would just keep pranking you. He bruised you pretty bad.
Dude, he fucking hurt me. I don't know why he threw it so goddamn hard, but that like caved in my chest for like a day or two. That really hurt.
How did it feel to get hit by the real water gun?
That shit hurts, man. I was like, all right. Like I was, that shit really, that's no joke. That thing, but those, you know why? Because those are used for fire. Those are used to put out fire, not rip through 130 pounds.
And this was, I think, probably the hardest day of the shoot for you. I remember you said to me, Judd, shoot me out. I don't want to be here long. Why do you think it was so hard this day as opposed to other days?
I think it's just like, I was actually concerned for everybody. Like I've never really been that up close to a fire, you know, put my dad in those shoes and like watch what he essentially did was terrifying. It also like, it was something my dad loved. So to watch something that he was unable to do again, it also really bummed me out because I was like, if he was around, he'd be doing this and loving it.
It must be nice to just get your dad's story out there and just the recognition of him and all the guys at his Firehouse. It's a fun way to, you know, pay tribute. Like, how does that part of it feel for you?
It feels really good to, you know, get it all out there and to just leave it out there for people to see. I feel like my dad had a really great story and he was a really special person. And I thank you and everybody who took part in it and really made this dream come true. And I think we got to do something really special and different.